We are in one of the planet's most extreme, mysterious, and fascinating environments. And we're taking you on an epic journey through this vast sea of sand. A trip that will reveal the hidden beauty, the surprising life that exists here. And the untold stories of the world's largest hot desert. Here, there's so much more than an endless expanse of heat. This place stands as a testament to nature's resilience, a land of authentic, powerful beauty. It's one of the most iconic and extreme places on Earth. With every grain of sand, with every dune shaped by the wind, the Sahara tells us a story. A story of transformation, survival, and eternal beauty. Welcome to the Sahara Desert. Like a sea of sand and stone, the Sahara stretches majestically over approximately 3.5 million square miles, covering much of North Africa. Speaking of its dimensions, it's hard to grasp the true magnitude of the Sahara. Imagine an area surpassing the size of the United States, or nearly equal to that of China. This is the realm of silence and immensity. Where sand dunes can reach altitudes of up to 590 feet, like golden mountains sculpted by the relentless wind. These vast stretches of rolling sand make up roughly 20% of the Sahara. The dunes of the Grand Erg Oriental in Algeria and Erg Chebi in Morocco are some of the most impressive. Here, the dunes can rise up to 590 feet, creating breathtaking landscapes. Under the light of sunrise or sunset, the dunes transform into a spectacle of colors. With shades of gold, orange, and red, merging in a play of light and shadow. In contrast to the sand dunes, there are gravel plains. These areas, covered with stones and pebbles, are the result of mountain erosion over millennia. The border between Algeria and Mali is a vast barren plain that exemplifies the austerity and desolation of these regions. Here, the silence is absolute, and the vastness seems endless. The mountains of the Sahara, known as hamadas, offer a dramatic landscape. These towering rock formations, shaped by ancient volcanoes, rise abruptly from the desert, with peaks exceeding 9,800 feet. Some, with their black basalt peaks, provide a lunar landscape where the rugged terrain is dotted with hidden oases. Speaking of oases, they are the jewels of the Sahara. True havens of life amid the aridness. The Siwa Oasis in Egypt is one of the most famous. This oasis, isolated by vast amounts of sand, was an important cultural and religious center in ancient times, home to the temple of the Oracle of Amun, where Alexander the Great was proclaimed the son of Zeus. Beyond the physical landscapes, the Sahara is dotted with spectacular geological formations. The reshape structure in Mauritania, also known as the Eye of the Sahara, is one of these wonders. Seen from space, this circular structure, 25 miles in diameter, resembles a giant eye. Formed over millions of years, it is an enigma that fascinates scientists and explorers alike. The Sahara Desert is not just a place of extreme aridity, but also a repository of ethereal beauty. And stunning landscapes. Each dune, each mountain, and each oasis tells a story of survival and adaptation. Where life finds ways to thrive even in the harshest conditions. In the vast and seemingly inhospitable Sahara Desert, though it may appear desolate at first glance, lies an ecosystem brimming with life. And also with death. Home to an incredible variety of fauna, uniquely adapted to its extreme conditions. One of the most iconic creatures inhabiting these arid expanses is the dromedary. Known for its resilience and adaptability, this remarkable animal is essential for the survival of the people who live here. Dromedaries are a type of camel. There are other species in different parts of the world with unique characteristics, some with more humps or thicker fur, like those in parts of Asia. But in the Sahara, the dromedary is the predominant species. Its hump doesn't store water, as is commonly believed, but rather fat. This fat reserve is crucial for survival over long periods without food. Providing energy when sustenance is scarce. They can lose up to 25% of their body weight in water without suffering dehydration. An impressive trait that allows them to endure the Sahara's harsh, dry conditions. They can also drink up to 10.5 gallons of water at once and retain it in their bodies for extended periods. Their kidneys and intestines are extremely efficient, excreting minimal water in urine and feces. The dromedary's long, powerful legs are adapted for covering vast distances over hot sand. Allowing them to travel up to 100 miles, 160 kilometers, in a day. Their wide, padded feet prevent them from sinking into the sand. Enabling a stable, efficient gait. This ability to cover great distances is essential for the caravans crossing the Sahara. Transporting goods and connecting civilizations. But for the Tuareg and Bedouin peoples, dromedaries are more than just transportation. They are also a vital source of food and sustenance. Dromedary milk is highly nutritious, rich in vitamins and minerals, and is consumed fresh or fermented. The meat, though less common, is also an important source of protein. Their dung is also put to use, thanks to a small but incredibly important creature, for maintaining balance in this environment. The dung beetle. Also known as the scarab beetle. A dung beetle's life in the desert begins with the search for fresh dung. Usually left by animals like dromedaries, gazelles, and other herbivores of the Sahara. With an extremely keen sense of smell, these beetles can locate dung from great distances. Once found, the beetle quickly sets to work forming a dung ball. Using its powerful front legs to compact and shape the mass. In the vast, scorching sands of the desert, forming a dung ball is a strenuous task, requiring a combination of strength and skill. The beetle uses its hind legs to roll the ball. That is, if no one gets in the way. Often moving backward while pushing its valuable resource. This technique helps the beetle keep the ball in motion and away from other competitors who might try to steal it. All this effort serves a clear purpose: food and reproduction. The dung ball provides a rich source of nutrients filled with organic matter. The beetle feeds on the dung, extracting nutrients scarce in the desert environment. Additionally, the dung ball is a safe place to deposit its eggs. The female buries the ball in the ground, where the eggs hatch and larvae feed on the dung during their development. Ensuring the next generation has an immediate food source. Camouflaged in the sand and hidden among rocks, the Sahara's lizards are masters of adaptation. One of the most fascinating aspects of these reptiles is their ability to regulate body temperature. Living in an environment where temperatures can swing drastically from day to night, lizards develop behaviors and physiological adaptations to cope with this challenge. During the hottest hours of the day, many lizards burrow into the sand or shelter in rocky crevices to avoid the extreme heat. They emerge in the early morning or late afternoon, when temperatures are milder, to bask in the sun and search for food. Camouflage and defensive behaviors are other essential traits of Sahara lizards. Many have colors and patterns that blend perfectly with the sandy, rocky surroundings, making them nearly invisible to predators and prey alike. When threatened, some lizards inflate their bodies to appear larger and more intimidating. While others may shed their tails to distract predators and escape. This phenomenon, known as caudal autotomy, allows the lizard to flee while the tail continues to wriggle, confusing the attacker. In the skies, migratory birds cross the desert. While resident birds remain. Not all of them are equipped to face this challenging environment. Birds embody a triumph of adaptation and resilience. From migratory birds traveling great distances to resident species thriving in arid conditions. One of these birds, over its evolution, has learned to adapt for survival. The burrowing owl is a small bird with a distinctive appearance. It has large yellow eyes, a round head, and a compact body. Its brown plumage with white spots provides excellent camouflage against the Sahara's sandy and rocky terrain. Burrowing owl chicks are fed by both parents and remain in the burrow for several weeks after hatching. They gradually begin to explore the area around the burrow. Learning to hunt and survive in the desert environment. The burrow's protection is crucial for the chick's survival. As predators and harsh weather can be relentless. This owl is also known for its curious and observant behavior. It is often seen perched at the entrance of its burrow, watching the surroundings. This vigilant behavior not only helps avoid predators, but also serves as an effective way to monitor for potential prey. In a place where life seems unlikely, birds continue to sing, hunt, and thrive. As companions on the journey, symbols of resilience, and indispensable sources of sustenance, we also find goats. Goats possess a unique anatomy that enables them to thrive in the desert. Their hooves are adapted for walking on rocky and sandy terrain, giving them excellent traction on uneven surfaces. Additionally, their skin and coat efficiently regulate body temperature. Helping them cope with the desert's extreme day-to-night temperature swings. They are known for being excellent foragers, able to find food in environments where other species would struggle to survive. Goats feed on a wide variety of plants, including dry grasses, thorny shrubs, and even tree bark. This ability to consume a diverse diet allows them to survive in areas where vegetation is sparse and scattered. In some areas of the Sahara, goats have developed behaviors that showcase their adaptability. An incredible example is the tree-climbing goats that search for food. In southwestern Morocco, goats are known to climb argan trees to eat the fruit. Demonstrating their adaptability and ingenuity. The relationship between goats and the desert people is a partnership forged by time and necessity. A delicate dance of survival and coexistence. As the sun finally sets over the Sahara Desert, a new world emerges. Night in the Sahara is a spectacle of contrasts and mysteries, a dramatic transformation, revealing a different side of this vast desert. During the day, the Sahara is dominated by scorching heat, with temperatures exceeding 120 degrees Fahrenheit. But as the sun fades, the intense heat quickly dissipates. And the temperature drops drastically. Nights here can be surprisingly cold, with temperatures falling below freezing in some regions. Our team had to find ways to stay warm. This extreme variation is one of the many paradoxes that define the desert. The nighttime temperature drop is due to the lack of moisture and vegetation, which absorb and retain heat during the day. In the Sahara, sand and rocks rapidly radiate the heat accumulated during daylight, causing the environment to cool quickly. Both human and animal inhabitants of the desert must be prepared. As darkness envelops the Sahara, the sky transforms into a dazzling canopy of stars. With little to no light pollution, the view of the stars in the desert is unmatched. The Milky Way appears as a bright river flowing across the sky. And constellations that are mere glimmers elsewhere shine vividly here. The silence of the Sahara night is deep and profound. Interrupted only by the gentle whisper of the wind and the occasional sounds of nocturnal animals. It offers an environment for reflection and tranquility. Desert people value this quiet time, which stands in stark contrast to the harshness and intensity of the day. It's a time of renewal and adaptation. A moment when nature reveals its life flourishing beneath the starry veil. It is a reminder that even in the most inhospitable places, beauty and wonder can be found in abundance. In a place where the heat is intense and vast, sand dunes seem endless. The arrival of rain is a rare and transformative event. Rainfall in the Sahara Desert is scarce and unpredictable. Some areas of the Sahara can go years without a single drop, while others may experience sparse, sporadic rains. This irregularity means that all forms of life in the Sahara critically depend on these rare events. When rain finally arrives, it often comes in the form of intense but short-lived storms. These downpours may last only a few minutes to a few hours, but their intensity is enough to temporarily transform the desert landscape. The sky, often blue and cloudless, turns dramatically dark. And thunder echoes across the vast sandy plains, heralding the arrival of a storm. Some animals, like certain types of frogs and insects, have life cycles directly synchronized with the rains. Frogs, for example, can remain buried in the soil in a state of dormancy for years. Waiting for the next rain to emerge, reproduce, and continue their species. Though brief, rainwater brings life to the desert. Many plants, which remain dormant during long dry periods, quickly respond to the moisture. Seeds that have been lying dormant in the soil germinate almost immediately. Resulting in a rapid burst of vegetation. Flowers bloom, covering the sand with vibrant patches of color. And grasses grow, providing temporary food for desert herbivores. Rain also has a profound impact on human communities living in the Sahara. Oases, which are vital sources of water and vegetation, depend on rain to recharge underground aquifers. Agriculture in oases is possible through irrigation, often using rainwater stored in cisterns and reservoirs. Interestingly, beneath the Sahara's arid surface lie vast aquifers. Studies reveal that beneath the desert's sands and rocks are water reserves potentially larger than Lake Victoria, Africa's largest lake. This hidden resource could be key to the future survival of human populations in such a challenging region. The Sahara is not a static desert. It has a dynamic history. About 10,000 years ago, the Sahara was not the arid desert we know today. This period, known as the humid Holocene, was marked by a much wetter, milder climate. The region was covered with expansive savannas, lakes, and rivers that supported rich biodiversity. Elephants, giraffes, hippos, and large herds of antelopes roamed freely across this fertile land. Human populations who left rock carvings in stone shelters also thrived, depicting giraffes, elephants, and even scenes of herding. These carvings bear witness to a time when the Sahara flourished under a completely different climate. As the climate began to shift around 5,000 years ago, the Sahara started a gradual transition to the arid environment we see today. This change was triggered by an alteration in atmospheric circulation patterns, which drastically reduced rainfall in the region. The once green Sahara began to dry out. Lakes and rivers started to disappear, leaving behind dry beds that tell their story. As aridity advanced, human populations faced a choice: adapt or migrate. Many inhabitants moved to more hospitable areas, such as the Nile Valley, where they laid the foundations for civilizations like the Egyptian one. A few adapted to a nomadic life, developing deep, respectful knowledge about survival in a desert environment. Among them were the Tuaregs, known as the Blue Men, because of the indigo clothing that stains their skin. They are a Berber people, inhabiting central regions of the Sahara. Their life is a constant struggle between tradition and adaptation. During the day, the Tuaregs protect themselves from the intense sun with long garments and turbans that cover nearly their entire body. They are masters of desert navigation, using ancestral knowledge to find water and pasture for their herds of camels and goats. Daytime activities include tending to animals, searching for resources, and preparing simple foods, like traditional bread baked in the hot sand. At night, when temperatures drop dramatically, social life comes alive around campfires. Families gather to share stories, play traditional music, and strengthen community bonds. Tents are meticulously set up, providing shelter against the cold night and ensuring a good night's rest. The lives of the desert's nomadic peoples are a constant struggle against the relentless forces of nature. One of their most critical challenges is the scarcity of water. Here, water is a precious and rare resource. Water sources like wells and oases are often distant and scattered. Nomads rely on their deep knowledge of water routes and ancient conservation techniques to survive. The daily search for water can be exhausting and dangerous, especially during prolonged dry spells. They set out in search of water. But along the way, a familiar obstacle arises. A sandstorm, a natural phenomenon that can rapidly transform the Sahara's landscape. Sandstorms occur when strong winds, often associated with low-pressure systems or storm fronts, lift massive amounts of sand and dust from the dry ground. These winds can reach extremely high speeds. carrying fine particles that obscure visibility and create an oppressive, surreal environment. Dromedaries, with their closable nostrils and eyes shielded by long lashes, are naturally equipped to handle such conditions. They instinctively kneel and turn their backs to the wind, minimizing exposure to the storm. Other animals, such as reptiles and small mammals, burrow into the sand or seek refuge in underground dens. Sandstorms can last for hours or even days. Forcing nomads to seek shelter and pause their daily activities. Despite these challenges, the nomadic peoples of the Sahara demonstrate inspiring resilience. They continue to adapt. Utilizing their deep understanding of the desert and developing new strategies to confront adversity. Their intimate connection to the land and rich culture are sources of strength and identity that sustain these communities. Our cameras captured the grandeur of the golden dunes, the brilliance of stars in an unmatched night sky, and the fleeting beauty of flowers that bloom after the rain. We felt the scorching heat of the day and the biting cold of the night, experiencing the duality of this extraordinary place. We marveled at the life that thrives amid adversity, a testament to nature's will to find a way. And so, our journey through the Sahara Desert comes to an end. In this vast desert, every grain of sand is a fragment of history. Each dune is a chronicle of time. And every oasis is a symbol of hope and survival. The story of the Sahara is the story of the Earth. A story that continues to be written, grain by grain, wind by wind,